Winter storms are familiar across North America, but this one stretched across borders and pushed infrastructure to its limits. Over the weekend, a powerful winter system dumped heavy snow and ice across large parts of the United States and Canada, knocking out power, ground flights, and triggering emergency warnings as freezing conditions lingered. Officials say the worst may have passed, but the cold is far from over. So, how widespread was it? The impact and why was the storm so severe? Let's break it down. The storm began on Friday, tracking from the southern United States into the northeast, according to the National Weather Service. Heavy snow, sleet, freezing rain spread rapidly, with nearly 190 million people, more than half of the US's population, affected or at risk. Across the country, at least 11 deaths have been linked to the storm. Power outages were reported in multiple states. Road became impassable and air travel ground to a halt. The US capital was hit especially hard. Washington DC recorded more than 20 centimeters of snow over nearly 20 hours. Temperatures are forecast to fall as low as minus 10 degrees Celsius. Federal agencies closed for a day on Sunday. Public transport services were reduced and slowed, and thousands of flights were cancelled across the region, 3 major airports. The city, in effect, shut down. Essential goods stores remained open, but footfall was light. Residents had prepared in advance. Shelves were cleared of basics like milk and vegetables. Streets were quiet, and many stayed indoors as conditions worsened. Similar scenes played out across affected states as officials urged people to avoid unnecessary travel. The storm did not stop at the border. Across Canada, a polar vortex settled over large parts of the country, bringing bone-chilling temperatures and heavy snowfall. Environment Canada issued orange alerts warning of high-risk damage or health impacts for several regions. In Ontario, where up to 40 centimeters of snow was forecast, officials in Hamilton, the Greater Toronto Area, and Kitchener-Waterloo urged residents to stay home. Despite the warnings, police reported more than 50 collisions in southern Western Ontario. Strong winds reduced visibility across the GTA, and more than 60% of flights at Toronto Pearson International Airport were cancelled over the weekend. Meteorologists say the storm was the result of several powerful atmospheric forces aligning. A mass on the Arctic air pushed south and collided with warmer air from the southern United States. At the same time, disruptions in the jet stream helped pull moisture north from the unusually warm Gulf of Mexico. The moisture fueled heavy snowfall and freezing rain. But there was another factor. Scientists are closely watching the stratospheric polar vortex, a fast-moving band of air that circles the North Pole high in the atmosphere. Forecasts showed a rare overlap between a southernward extension of this vortex and the jet stream over the United States. That overlap amplified extreme north-south swings in weather patterns, allowing intense cold and heavy precipitation to take hold. Global temperatures are rising and overall snowfall is declining, but scientists stress that this does not mean severe winter storms are disappearing. In fact, some research suggests that while cold events may be less frequent, they can still be extremely, partly due to disruptions in the polar vortex linked to rapid Arctic warming. Warmer oceans and a more moisture-filled atmosphere can also intensify storms, even as other climate factors work in the opposite direction. The result? Fewer winter storms overall, but when they do hit, they may hit harder. Forecasters warned that freezing air and icy conditions could persist in parts of the country through the week. For now, the storms serve as a reminder, even in a warming world, winter still has a power to shut down cities, disrupt lives, and test infrastructure. The snow will melt, flights will resume, and roads will reopen. But the forces driving these extremes are still very much in motion. For more such explainers, subscribe to DawnNews English.